Buenos días, buenas tardes. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our first checkpoint for the project, Personajes Importantes del Mundo Hispanohablante. You need to start off by already being ready to go. Every time you're going to use a Word document or something like that, and it's real simple. Just have your name, your teacher's name, your period, the date, and then the title is just going to be PIDMH, that's the title of the project. Whichever checkpoint number it is, this point obviously we're going to start with checkpoint 1. Title of that particular checkpoint, this one's early life, and then the name of your person. I realize Napoleon Bonaparte is not one of the people that we had available because he's from France. I'm just doing him so that nobody can steal my research. All right, I start off by having all 3 of the questions that need to be answered this time on here. You don't have to do that, but it might help you to organize your research, so I chose to. If you're not sure where to find this information, the things that we handed out to you in class today, Friday the 20th, have those questions. There's also a soft copy on your teacher's webpage. You just have to download it, and it looks like this. So I pulled it from right here, checkpoint number 1. And just a couple quick reminders. You need to make sure, I don't care which font you use, but it needs to be 12. It can be smaller, but don't go too small because our old eyes can't read it much smaller than that. You also need to make sure that your spacing is no more than 1.5. I chose 1.15, but as long as it's no more than 1.5, everybody's happy. One other little thing, though, please don't play around with your margins. Your margins need to be either normal or narrow, nothing other than that. And the additional spacing between lines here, make sure that these are both at 0. Please don't play around with those and add an extra, 20 font or something like that between, because that just creates these big gaps that chew up space on your paper, and we'll notice. All right, so the first question I need to answer, when and where was my person born? You need to have at least 2 web sources and 1 print source. I'm not going to mess around with the print source right this moment just because I can't show you on the screen, but you should already have your print source ready to go before you start working. To find your web sources, it helps if you just use the ones that we already have approved. If you go to my teacher page under helpful links, I have a whole bunch of them right here under Spanish research links. And then I also have this Gale Group one. You kind of have to click on this link to get to it, but you can do that from home. You'll just have to add a password, and your teacher can provide you that password before you go home this weekend. All right, so Gale Group is going to give me a bunch of information. When I first searched Napoleon's name there, I came up with a whole bunch of different things available. I went ahead and chose the Encyclopedia of World Biography and came up with this article. See if we can figure out where he was born. It immediately tells me right here when and where he was born. I'm going to look and see if there's any more information here. Okay, so I see, for example, there was a spelling change to his name. This is how it's spelled here, even though the world knows him by the name that was up at the top, Napoleon Bonaparte. It tells me where he was born, and I may need to find out a little bit. I don't know a whole lot about Ajaccio or whatever that is. I don't know anything really about Corsica other than it's in France. So I'm going to go ahead and just write a very simple sentence based on this. I need to remember the date, August 15th, 1769. So I'm going to type in my own words, Napoleon was born on August 15th, 1769. I'm going to type a little bit more about his name and all of that I pulled directly from that article, but I'm going to save you listening to me typing, so give me just a moment. Okay, so I have all the information that I have available to me so far. He was born August 15, 1769. This was his name. It was changed after 1796. He was born in Ajaccio, Corsica, France. Now, I always tell my students, don't write anything you can't explain. So it's going to be a really good idea for you to research where this particular place was. If you find a person and they're born somewhere and you don't know where that place is, you should probably find out. Where is the northwest east part? Is it an island? Is it on an isthmus? Find out some basic things about it so that you can help people get a sense of where your person was born. Now, this is all the information that I really have from this particular source. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to come over to my source and I'm going to get the citation information. You'll take a look at a video later about citation, but for right now, I'm just going to show you at the bottom of any Gale Group article, you have a citation already done here. Now, I'm not clicking up here and copying this URL. That's not my citation. My citation is this right down here. I copy it, come back over to my document. I'm going to paste it, and then just to make it stand out a little bit, I like to make it a little smaller and a little darker and italicized, and so now I can see that easily. That's good for two reasons. Number one, it tells my teacher that this particular chunk of information is done. Number two, when I'm trying to put my brochure together later, it helps me see this is the information that's from here. Next chunk of information was from a different source, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not done looking up information about where he was born because, remember, I'm going to try to find out where Corsica is. So a good source for locating information about where things happen is World Book. When you go to World Book, there's two important ones for this particular research checkpoint because you can get timelines for the second question. But for right now, since I'm looking for where, I'm going to click on Student. I'm going to search for Corsica, and let's see what comes up. Oh, look at that, Corsica. That's pretty helpful. I've got some basic information about the island of Corsica. It even tells me right here is birthplace of Napoleon I. And I've also got maps. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of this information first, and I'm going to move it over to my document here. All right, now I copied this selection right here directly from the source. If I just leave it that way, I'm plagiarizing. I need to put it in my own words. But now I have all the information that I need right there, so I can just start typing. Corsica is, as you can see right around here, it is between southeast France and northeast Italy. And if you look at the first sentence, it's in the Mediterranean Sea. By the way, it's an island. I should probably mention that. So it is an island located between southeast France and northeast Italy. It also mentions down here it's one of France's regions, and it's divided into two smaller administrative districts. So I'm not going to go into its whole size or anything. I'm just going to say it is large enough to be one of France's regions. All right, that's all the information I need from here. I am going to go ahead and make a new source citation for this one. So going back to my World Book over here, the easiest thing in the world, if you look on the left, it says citation information. When I click on that, it takes me down to the citation information. Copy it, paste it, make it look however you want it to look, and then we're going to go ahead and just realize this is a smaller font than it needs to be. Then we're going to go ahead and use the map. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to open up that map picture. And let's see. Well, I've got two of them here. I really only want this one, but I don't think it's going to let me open just that one. So I'm going to right-click on that. I'm going to copy the image, and then I'm going to come back over here to Microsoft Paint. I'm going to paste that on here, and then I'm just going to delete the extra map that I don't need. Because remember, I don't want to take up any more space than I absolutely have to. I want to leave as much available as possible. And now I just need to make it a little bit smaller, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce this down so that I can copy this picture and put it into my document. All right, so I've got it small. Now I'm going to select the whole thing, so I can just select all, right-click, copy, come back over to my document here. Nope, that's not my document, that is. And I'm going to go ahead and paste the picture here, and then I just need to kind of format it. That's about the right size, but it's chewing up a bunch of space here. So if I click on Format up here and then Wrap Text, I can just do Type, and then it makes all of the text go around it. If I move this right up around here, then everything to the left of it is fine, and I don't have any extra words over here. It doesn't split the middle of my writing or anything like that. I think we're ready to move on to the next question. What events happened in his or her country and the world in the first 20 years of their life? that might have shaped their life. And I'm about to run out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, and we'll have a second one in just a moment.